Okay, I'll say just a word about the source, a word about some of the circumstances, and then I would like us to pick out some things from the text itself. First of all, a word about the sources that we're all considering here today. I look and I see so many Pinkasim, Pinkasei Kehillah, various other documents that are written, and it reminded me that we might want to put this into the framework that one of the pioneers in writing about Jewish communal power in the post-Talmudic age, Simcha Asaf, in his book Ha'onshin Achar Chatimat HaTalmud, who argued that collectively, if you take all these sources and consider them, we're dealing with a monumental creative achievement. Jewish life as it was lived through these varied sources is in itself something that we haven't really perhaps given its due as a text worthy of our consideration. And not only official communal records, what I'm looking at is what you might call a semi-official. A Shamash keeps his own records. It's not a personal document. He never records, or virtually never records, his own feelings, his own reactions. This is not his personal diary. It is a communal record. Today, every single entry is dated, Hayom Yom, and he'll tell you the day and the year, and he'll write down what he did in his official capacity as a Shamash, and the first two entries I gave you are probably copied from earlier years' books, discuss his mandate. I was appointed to go and be an emissary from the Rav and from the Kahal to communicate their decisions to the public. So that's his job. And this particular Pinkas is something that the Jewish Theological Seminary had an occasion to buy several manuscripts out of a whole collection. And as I started to read it, I insisted that they buy this one, and they were kind enough to do so, and I want to thank them very much. Second word, just about context. Altona is part of, as you know, a tripartite community. It's a little bit different structure than most individual kehillot. Kehillot Ahu, Altona, Hamburg, Wandsbeck had to operate in some respects as three separate communities and in other respects as a united community. And it is that difference from the other kehillot that allowed these cases to come to our attention. They would have never arisen as points of contention had there not been a question of who is responsible for these fatherless children. And we'll look at that. But again, it's the unique structure of these kehillot that even brings these cases to our attention. Some more general remarks. As Elisheva has noted in her book, much of the literature about the Jewish family used to idealize it. We're not talking about Christian Hebraism, but Jewish scholarship. Recent work, in particular, I want to mention the work of Elliott Horowitz, of Howard Adelman, of Jonathan Schorsch, of Yom Tov Assis, but many others are opening up for us the underside, a darker strain, if you will, in Jewish family life without apologetics. This is not to say that violence or exploitation typified Jewish family life. That is not what I am arguing, but it was certainly not absent from pre-modern Jewish society.